Hey folks, Champesque here bringing another audio commentary. Today it's going to be between Lucifron, who's just joined MYM, and Infi, who's been in World Elite for a long time. And I know I normally do these in sort of a at least semi-casting spirit, but today I'm going to be doing this one just in terms of sort of it's how to do a good tower rush against orcs. So I think Infi does this one quite well. It's a combination really of, he gets a bit lucky, but then he uses his luck to his advantage as well, and he manages to do a really successful, really powerful tower rush. I'm going to show you how he does it here. Now there's a couple times when you can tower rush an orc. You can do it at like early tier 1, but you don't want to do it as soon as your hero comes out. You want to level your archmage a bit first, and you don't want to get an archmage if you're going to tower rush. But you want to generally get at least level 2, if not level 3 on your archmage, and then tower rush. Or you can do it just when the orc hits tier 2, when they're putting up their tier 2 building. Or really the most common time to push is just a bit after tier 2, when you have your first couple sorceresses out, you have your ivory towers, you have a beastmaster with coil beasts, and that can be a really powerful tower push. But what Infi's going to do here is he's going to push a bit earlier. This is going to be a fairly quick game. And what this is going to mean is that Lucifron's never really going to have a time when he can be in a weak position, because there's always the potential to be tower rushed, so he always has to be careful. And as you can see, it's fairly standard build to this point. I think this peon probably will be building a voodoo lounge rather than scouting. And Infi obviously power built his altar. If you don't believe, you can go back and check, and that means he doesn't have any footmen, so he brings in 6 militia. And it's fairly common that to lose one. You can get lucky and not lose any, but I think Infi probably will lose one of these, if not 2, but it's fairly rare to lose 2. Losing 1 is pretty standard, but it is worth it overall, and he does lose 1, and I imagine the rest of them he'll be able to make away. And you see he gets a ton of experience and a belt of giant strength. It's 2 very good items. This is the entirety of the luck I was talking about earlier. Is Tome of Experience obviously gets him a lot closer to level 3, and Belt of Giant Strength is just generally good against the Blade Master, which this run has gone, obviously. And Voodoo Lounge just going down there, as I said. And what Infi's going to do is he knows that these items are going to give him an advantage, but the longer this game goes on, the less of an advantage it is, obviously, because when you have 2 heroes, so it counts for half as much in terms of total hero hit points and stuff like that. So you really need to, if you're going to try and take advantage of some sort of luck or advantage, you have to do it quite quickly. You have to know when to time it, but you have to do it at a good time as well. And what you'll see right here is Infi's not teching, he's not expanding, he's just getting his hero to level 3, and at that point, and this will get him to level 3, and at that point he'll push in. What he could have done, if he didn't get a ton of experience, he could have creeped this camp here, or this camp here if he was worrying about being jacked by Blade Master, and that would have gotten as much as to almost level 3, and after that he could have done pretty much the same thing. And so it's fairly similar to what, and so the luck doesn't play as much of an element as some people believe, but certainly it's played a bit of a role. And you can see the Archmage is now running to Lucifron's base, and Infi's just bringing sort of, 5-7 militia, and power building a lumber mill as well, so he's definitely going for a tower rush at this point. And I think Lucifron here sort of sees what's happening, but is pretty powerless to stop it. You see, he's putting up a war mill, so clearly he wants things like demolishers, towers, things like that, but there's not really much you can do at this point, and you really have to make it really well here. It is an all-in push by Infi, and so if Lucifron can can push it or even delay it for a bit, then that's going to be enough, because his tier 2 tech is halfway done. But he needs to be careful with his Blade Master, because while it is a really good hero, you need to be careful that it doesn't tank too much damage, and really that means running it away from the footmen, and you can't really avoid the water elementals or the Archmage, but try not to let the footmen attack it. And you can see Infi did power build 1 tower, which is a guard tower, which makes sense, because you don't want an arcane tower really against the Blade Master. And you can see the war mill is now done. He's putting up a watchtower, but by this point I don't think Lucifron has a blocked off enough base. I think Lucifron probably should have gone for a more blocked off base in this situation. He should have moved his barracks a bit further back, and then maybe built this watchtower somewhere closer to the gold line. But who am I to say really? And you can just see that second tower's gone up and the third one's being tower built, and Lucifron is salving up his Blade Master now, but there's not really much you can do. You can see Infi pretty much has free reign of his base. Lucifron can't even be building, or have units in his burrow, because he just needs to repair them, because he's building a Demolisher now, and I'm not sure what's his resources. He doesn't really have much lumber at this point, obviously. He's building more peons, and he needs more because he can't afford a second hero yet. And in this kind of situation, unconventional heroes do sometimes work well, like Pit Lord works quite well against human tower rushes. But looks like this burrow will go down, and that this one's now at 30 of 30 food, and once this Demolisher's out, he's not going to be able to build anything else until he loses a couple units. But he has sort of just run away for a bit and is salving up his unit, and he's coming straight back in now. But you can see this Demolisher really not very much point to it, because it's just going to taken down immediately. But Lucifron now has a force bearer capacity for food, so he's building another one. And you can see the position of Infi's towers are quite interesting. Every player really has their own style for building towers. I quite like Infi's because it reduces the surface area, but what I tend to do is I tend to put a line of not towers in between the two towers, in which I can run peasants just to repair without the possibility of them being attacked. So that's what I generally do, but everyone has their own strategy, I think, for tower placement. You can see they're very central, because this was a very aggressive tower push. It wasn't sort of a sneaky one. Lucifron knew exactly what he was doing, and so Infi said, well, if you're going to know what I'm doing, I'm not going to sort of put my towers up against trees or anything. I'm just going to put them right in the middle where they can attack absolutely everything. And you can see that it's a GG from Lucifron. So I think that was quite an interesting game in terms of Infi just had such control at this point in the game. If Lucifron had managed to slow the tower rush, perhaps by bringing, I think he had either 2 or 3 grunts and his Blade Master when the militia were coming down. If the grunts had just pounded on the militia a bit more while they were coming, I think that might have been quite good for him. Just I think it was so strong by Infi, and he did get good items, but that wasn't too much of a factor, I think, in this game, just because he had such a strong tower push that you can imagine even with worse items it would have been closer, but Infi just had so much control in that game, and there wasn't really much Lucifron could do. So okay, I hope you enjoyed that.